So you want to lower your BMW. You've been looking at a bunch of lowered BMWs. You see how cool they look, and you want to do the same to your BMW. So the biggest thing that you should be asking yourself if you want to lower your BMW is why. It could be for many different reasons why you want to lower your BMW. Everybody's different and everybody's car is different, everybody's style is different. So I'll tell you why I lowered my BMW. Right now I'm in my BMW E30 325i, stock M20, nothing special. I wasn't a fan of the ride height of the stock E30, you know, how this car came in 1989.
Oh, no.
So I decided that I wanted to lower it. And the why for me was mostly cosmetic. The main thing that I wanted to accomplish in lowering my E30 was make it look cosmetically better. And another part of it was to make it handle better. With those two things, that kind of determined, you know, the why, and then everything else followed below that. The cost of it, what it'll take to install, and basically, you know, your driving handling ability of the setup. So if I wanted to do just cosmetically, yeah, I could cut the springs and, you know, drive it with cut springs. But since I wanted to do it for more than just cosmetic reasons, I decided to get H&R sport springs and Bilstein struts and shocks. So there's some different options that you can go with if you're lowering your car. Like I said, you could just cut your springs and, you know, call it a day. Proper lowering springs, proper struts that are meant for lowering springs. And one of the more popular ways to lower your car is to get coilovers. Coilovers are awesome because they're adjustable, so you can really fine-tune your height, and you can also most of the time you can fine-tune your spring rates. For the most part, with any of these options, your handling is going to change in some way or another. Now, another thing to consider is price, of course. So coilovers generally will run about $1,000, and then you have to install them, obviously. Springs are a few $100, but if you're doing your springs, sometimes or most of the times you'll need to do the struts and shocks as well, which will be another few $100s. And then of course there's also air suspension, which is completely different from the rest. With air suspension, you use air to adjust and modify the height of your car when you're moving or parked or anything like that. Air suspension will generally be the most expensive way to lower your car, but you can get really creative with it. So if you're looking for the most cost-effective way to lower your car, you might want to look into some lowering springs for your car. Every car is different. For example, for the E30, if you're putting on lowering springs, you're going to want to do the struts and shocks. And next up, if you can afford a little bit more, I would recommend going with coilovers because they're so adjustable. You know, you have a lot more that you can kind of change around and really get you to a height and spring rate that you kind of want to be at. And if you are looking to heavily modify your car, go with air suspension because you can really fine-tune the height of your car. You can adjust it on the go. The great thing about air suspension is if you want a low ride, but you have to go over speed bumps or something, you can raise up your car for the speed bumps. So like I said, it goes back to the why you're lowering your car. If you want that adjustability on the go, then the air suspension might be what you want. But if you want performance handling and, you know, a little bit of a stiffer drive, you know, your car will really stick to the ground a little bit better, then maybe the coilovers are best for you. And if you're kind of looking at, you know, you just want to lower your car cosmetically, drop an inch or so, then I think the performance or lowering springs are probably the best way to go. You'll get a little bit of performance out of them, but mostly you'll get that cosmetic drop that a lot of people want. So it's all about the application, all about your car, all about what you want. So there's not one better than the other, so definitely try them out and, you know, see what you like best, see what one will fit best for you. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.